I can see your sweat and the tears in your eyes. Everything shows you want to give up. I can feel your pain and your grief and your tears and all your frustrations. But you got to be strong. You got to love you and keep you down. You got to rise up. Think about tomorrow and look beyond your fears. There are days when the sky don't blue and everything is the sign of doom. Trusting God and believing Him. Trusting God and believing Him.
Thank you so very much. We will start with the national anthem and our anthem here. DJ. It will be led by Dr. Navasaki.
Kati musharinga video.
She made quite a very powerful speech in India. Everybody is calling me asking me about it. Thank you very much. And
Mutabani wa Eddie Mutwale solid. Mutabani wa Eddie Mutwale omulabye. Bakubye olimba lwa NUP awanekeddewo ekikonde. Eno generation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. Allahumma salli ta'aduwana aqlabun min kilabika. Ay Allah ekitiibwa tusalanga neewomesa gy'oyi magega ekitiibwa. Abalabe baffe era n'eggwanga lino basindikire empologoma z'okwogerera. Tukusaba okuba pulezidenti waffe omuteeko omukono gw'ekitiibwa atuuke okukulembedde bye twagala oba okumulembwa waffe Uganda nga mulamu bulungi era omuwe omukono gw'ekisa abeere nga tukulembera bulungi luliko nga waffe Uganda. Nsaba buli muntu yazze wano omuteeko omukono ogw'ekitiibwa ogw'ekisa n'abasigadde nga bali emabega w'ekisinga kino bateekeko omukono ogw'ekitiibwa. Byonna mbisaba Allah nga mpita mu ekitiibwa Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Allahumma Amin.
so you can see one young.
Amanya Bishai Abubakar Semojo, Viviani Amin Wero District.
From the Wero District. Have you ever dreamed of having handshake with the president? You have never dreamed. Do you have it as a dream? Alhamdulillah. Go and have the handshake. Go and have a name, go and have a Anaitaba tuja atolina saba tuja. Namunamanya mchukue ekifaananyi ekyo. Yeah, for us here at the National Unity Platform, we reaffirm all faith. Anglican, Christian, born again, Muslim.
Omulungi wa Sauda Madada nze mbabuuzaako. Good morning once again.
Because many of us have attachments, particularly. So it is not right to discriminate or describe characteristically like they did people because of their faith. That is very wrong. And the NPP will deliver, of course, better than you had them speak. Ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome. Of course, good afternoon. We have started a little bit late because of force majeure. It was not our own making. But Shamil here, Malende, knows that acts of God, you cannot stop it. So we are here and we will use the shortest time possible. We reach out to the media to please bear with us, but we will compensate with the terrific speed that shall carry out this. Mr. President, allow me to recognize that in this press conference we have 8 persons. You have councillors. Councillors LC3, you stand up. The other time they say it will have been news.
Power, people power, NUP, everywhere, NUP.
You're most welcome. Those at the division level, you stand up for recognition. That's LC3. Those at the Lord Councillors, stand up for recognition. Lord Councillors. Of course, they are all represented by the Speaker of the Lord Council. So stand up for recognition. Our able Speaker. We do have Yulse Council, Nanunji Alice from Masaka. He's also city, we are also Lord Council. We take special recognition of leaders from Bugisu, my brother Honorable Masawa, you're most welcome. NEC members, you're most welcome.
Tata Mashindi, Musiri David Watch.
District, Nadia, one of our very great people in delivering at the local government. It's not easy managing what is so. You've done as well. Thank you, Nadia. Mr. President, you have Honorable Noyanja from Mukono is with us today.
Tunawo ne Beyonce Sebo. Mukalaba kali akeero. Nene yope. Mukalabye.
Mr. President, the loop is not with us, but the ears are here.
Tewali kadi.
From Masaka, an office of you're most welcome. Of course, that caller gives you all the advantages of being introduced. Bishop, you're most welcome.
Tewali kadi.
You're most welcome. Come and have the handshake with the president. I should exercise my powers because he comes from Entebbe. You see, Entebbe is a very interesting area. They have Lake Victoria, and I feel like I'm living in Entebbe because I come from Gija. Stuart, Mr. President, that young man comes from Entebbe. He's a very good young man down there and doing a great job. I want to know Basima. The foot soldiers, you're most welcome. Members of the national owners and members of the national unity platform, you are most welcome. Councillor, you did not stand up. I need to expand. I did see you. She's also our councillor from Machinga Salvador. My sister Nakato, you're most welcome. And all other members, Katongoli Julius, Kantankaras Katongoli Julius, most welcome. And all other members, you're all most welcome. Arish Kanu, my brother, and Obi, classmate, you're most welcome. And all of you that I have not introduced, I will do it another time. Mr. President, sir, amidst us, we have members of parliament, and we have the Honorable Seungu Gonzaga from Kalungu. We have Honorable Christine Kaya, my very good friend from Chiboga. We have Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, the chairman of the Uganda Caucus.
Wasauda wange aliwo ba nice namulaba promotima konate guteredde.
And also the head of the park committee, Neswatiwa. He has not served in that capacity.
N'omusajja gonna kwatira kusawuda madada.
National Executive Committee, Farida Nabatanzi, you're most welcome. Our head of the Electoral Management Committee, the Election Management Committee, Master Walkamba, all the way from Mugui, you're most welcome. And Mundu wa Watu, Chairman Nyanzi, you're most welcome. Yeah, today is blessed like people from a particular country. I will not say they will say it on their money, but it is in Europe. And our Secretary General, you're most welcome. Mr. President, all those people are here to witness what will be said. And of course, myself, Mr. President, I am so sorry. Always going to be a state. Shamim Manende, MP Kampala, you're most welcome. One MP Kampala, you're most welcome. Shamim Malada Jabundi Amuamas. And my sister from Kisoro, you're most welcome. You're very, very smart.
Bakaita Salimo.
That is NUP.
We know.
Mr. President, allow me at this juncture invite
Sauda Madada,
our chairperson of the Election Management Committee, to come and speak to us. Madam Mercy, welcome.
You, people power, people power. I must say, welcome, being the chairperson of the Election Management Committee of the National Unity Platform. I'm here to declare our comrade, who is going to be our official candidate for Member of Parliament in the upcoming by-election. She is Sultan Salim. Can you please come back for information?
oyo mubataddewo ekisolo.
Official candidate who is going to be our candidate in the upcoming by-election in Kisoro district. Please let's go there in big numbers to support her because the win is on our side. Sabu Uganda, candidate waffe,
Sauda Madada.
omukono bagutwala bagutwayisiza mu kasengejja agenda okubeera oba tukwatira ebendera yaffe mu kawulu ketugendamu tezijagamaka amasameeme kuba sapooti tugiina atekayinali waffe omulaba atulika tugendeyo mu bungi tumusapootinge tusobole okuleeta bwi bawonawona twagala
Tere muntu asobola kumenya Sauda Madada ne baleeta omuntu ng'ayiika amata. But we shall support her. Salimu Uhuru. Mu by-election ezejja ekisolo yawali aba NRM bemwalayo bawoomwo nnyo balonde abeesimbyewo ba NRM. So buli member wa parliament NUP gwesimbyewo ekisolo mu by-election ezigenda okuba nga zigenda mu maaso bamwita Salimu. Obweru wavuganya Beyonce.
I would ask the SG to give guidance to Kanyume. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Mr. President, behold our candidate, Comrade Sultana, commonly known as Tana, who is going to be our flag bearer for Woman Member of Parliament, Kisoro District. We shall give her an opportunity to say something right now, but most importantly, it was good for us to unveil her to you. Unfortunately, they have given us a very, very short time for campaigns, only 12 days. You can imagine how unfair the system is. Only 12 days for campaigns in a district which has 24 sub-counties. And you can imagine for the NRM, they've been there already. They started all the way campaigning, doing their primaries and all that. But we are glad we have our candidate. And we shall all be there.
Abaana b'ekisolo ekyokola baba mukimanyi.
After taking that picture with the president, I will ask her to say something. Yeah, maybe she can even come and say something.
Mr. President, Secretary General, our MP President, and the NUP, I greet you all.
The people of Kisoro have come here as your sister, your daughter, the people from Kumbira, our Kumbira, the Batimbiri communities. I stand before you with a lot of humility and pride to be called your daughter. Kisoro district for the longest time, it's been 40 years, over 40 years, Kisoro has given full support to NRM. Where even they have a saying of Ijana Ijana. Ijana Ijana means 100% NRM. But we can see the people of Kisoro, the number of pledges that this government has given us. We can see
abangamba sawo ndi batowulya sina kyakukolera mu ndeke
where in mountain Uganda, we have the largest number of gorillas in the whole world. So Kisoro speaks for itself even without an introduction.
Tomanyi luzungu
But
uza
if
sawo
you go, in 2006 they promised us tourism roads, but as we speak the tourism roads are in a very bad condition.
tamanyi luzungu uza sawo ndi balanga bawulira.
If you look at our roads, this is not only going to benefit the tourism industry, but also the traders, because we are known as farmers. When it rains in this, we really wonder if this is a tourism hub that we should be. Because if you have visited Kisoro, you can see the beauty of Kisoro district. But we are promised, and up to now, we are still in hope. For how long will we wait? People of Kisoro, Ijana Kujana. Let us change the narrative. Let us change the statement of Ijana Kujana. And we know that that is not what happened, because things are changing. We saw what they did in the 2021 elections. We saw how they arrested us. We saw how they beat our agents on polling stations, where agents at 1 p.m. were chased and polling stations were closed at 1 p.m. because ballots were already ticked. So we saw all that, and we know people are seeing and people are changing. I know Kisoro right now as we speak, after the NRM primary that just concluded, you saw the impunity, you saw the bribery. Please, Kisoro people, I urge you to change. This is the time, and you have to change now. And there are a lot of things that have been promised. The John Carley Institute of Science and Technology. As we speak, they laid a stone in 2017, but you can no longer even trace where that stone is. People are moving from Kisoro to go to other districts for education, when we should have such education in Kisoro so that our leaders, we can have better leaders of tomorrow. So I stand here to empower the youth, the girl child, to ensure that we stay in school, and we are going to put up facilities that are going to help us in doing this. I'm going to be an on-ground leader. An on-ground leader, I mean, where I have to engage with you in our webinars. I sit with you and we discuss our issues in a personal level. An ongoing leader is what I'm going to be. And I'm going to be a vocal person, a person who is going to speak for you, not to go and fill the seat in parliament, but to go and actually advocate for our rights as a Kisoro district as we deserve. Thank you very much. Abafungira kazi, abafungira, abatimbiri, n'abatimbiri kazi, nchimbere yanyu ndikubasaba ngo duhindure kuko iki nicyo gihe. Buri munsi tuvuga yuko ari ijana ku ijana. Kubera iki tudahinduraho ijana ku ijana? Kubera iki nta district yigera ivuga ngo ijana ku ijana? N'Igisoro gusa yonze. Ariko bunzi yuko twenda guhinduraho. Dusindike statement igiye kutuyamba. Dusindike statement ili kwerekana yuko tuhinduyeho. Nyabona muzi yuko
buli kyayogera mutu
twifuza umuntu wo kutuvugira nka Kisoro, kuko ibyo batubenshi ni byinshi. University of Pres.H.E. Institute John Carey in memory of the late John Carey. Up to now, we don't know had do the institute defeated. I never tried to my district figure. Kind of talk about in the Johnson district yard. Amantuza tourism roads hazo tulikuona wana ulijihe nyao wana dukinduleho mpaka ruka mkampwa ya uomuzi hatana nduleho maze
Thank you.
National Unity Platform oyo gwetaddewo ekisolo mu by election eziri mu kubanga zigenda mu maaso. Babawadde ennaku 12 eza campaign.
Our comrades from Western Uganda. I see Mama there, I see comrades from Western Uganda, we say. People power, our power. Even Solo is from Solo. All right. Comrade Tana, come in front, please. And the president is going to officially hand over this our symbol to you.
Abo bonna boolaba bava Kisolo, so president agenda mu kwasa bendewera bonna baganda b'Ekisolo.
For you to go and hold it with a lot of pride in Kisolo. People power, our power. Kunga Kisolo kunga. Kunga Western Uganda kunga. Yeah. Thank you very much. So there we go with our official candidate in the
Ola Sharon yafunye olubuto oyo. Sauda madada yani. Kisolo by election. Omukyalo oyo agoba kwasiza umbrella oba kadi ya NUP oba eya National Unity Platform okubanga representinga NUP mu district eyo Kisolo baganda bange basebo ne banyabo. So kyekyo abakadde bange bamwita Salim. Babawadde ennaku 12 zokka ezokola campaign owulire embaga. NRM eri egaba munnyo eri mu kuwa abantu kagundi ka munnyo ka nusu 10 basindikomu oyo wa NRM omulala mu parliament. By election muzimanyi either omuntu kwa balonda mu kalulu ka general election abataliiwo so babalina okubanga bali pressinga ekifo ky'oyo omuntu. So umbrella tugimuwadde yamanya abantu b'Ekisolo oba bokyesa enkuba osolo oba bokyesa omusana oba nkuba naye nga yo bagimuwadde
Our power. Kunga Kisolo kunga.
Kunga.
Kunga Kisolo kunga. Viva kunga viva. Kisolo we are coming. Kisolo we are coming.
Kisolo tujja.
The president and the secretariat will give me those 2 weeks in Kisolo. And I see what is in Kisolo. But Kisolo we are coming.
Thank you very much. We're doing whatever we can. There's a lot of desire to prove that we are not everywhere. But let them mark us with Kisolo because we will be there. And let them give us the chance to show who we are and the might that we are. Because we are truly a mighty party in Kisolo. That I know. We have the numbers. And we will beat them. We will beat them at that. Mr. President, without wasting any more time, allow us to give this opportunity to Parliament
there is a serious bill and debate concerning coffee, and a lot of people have been hearing a lot of words. We think that we should have the opportunity, being in charge of the fight, and I wish to take this opportunity, Mr. President, to report to you and ask all of us here to put up and to give a thunderous hand clap. They have defined us right, that when we need something, we go for it. And when we stand together, we can beat them no matter the odds. We want to thank the able leadership of Honorable Joel Senyonyi, the able leadership of Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi at the center stage of making sure that we fight for the voices that are voiceless. They put up a very good struggle. You heard what happened there, and we are very grateful for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, allow me to invite Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi. But before I invite Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, selector is very fun. Let me have Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi to come and tell us something. But then those you have a Kamwani that is fun. Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, sir.
Musharinge video mwagana chonchi bagambe wanakamwanyi kaliwo sauda madada aliwa
Your Excellency, President, Secretary General, the National Organizing Secretary, honorable colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I have been given this opportunity. Once again, let me first explain who I am. A chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. And people should understand how I became a chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. I'm deployed by the National Unity Platform to be a chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. It's because of our numbers in Parliament, in the caucus, that I managed to be elected a chairperson. Therefore, I give first accountability to my president and to the party. That's why I'm going to explain how far this is taken. Now, coffee. Why coffee?
Nebigambo mubijjawo bannaye kansirike.
Coffee today is grown by 12.5 million Ugandans. They are in the coffee sector. Coffee today, this financial year alone, and Uganda net earnings $1.4 billion US. 1.4 billion translated in shillings is nearly 5 trillion Uganda shillings. That's so remarkable. And why today? So when we are speaking about coffee, we are not speaking about any other crop. 2, coffee transcends Uganda. It's a national crop. Actually, there is a type of coffee that is not grown in Uganda at all. That is the Arabic coffee. It is grown in part of Western Uganda and in the Bugisu region. But even today, coffee has transited the ordinary boundaries. It's no longer grown in Bugisu, in parts of Rwenzori, no. Acholi, Busoga, West Nile, and all other regions. Actually, today, the most upcoming region in growing coffee is Western Uganda. Therefore, when we are speaking about coffee, we are speaking about Uganda in totality. So what's a crisis in Parliament? In Parliament, we are now dealing with the very big government of Uganda did not come up with the policy of rationalization. My 10 years as the Shadow Minister for Finance, we made a case that government was too big, duplicating so many roles, being extravagant, and in our manifesto, we advocated for a lean, efficient government bureaucracy. So it's actually a national unity platform that has delivered the agenda for cleaning up the extravagance in government. We should clap for ourselves. Therefore, there is nothing like the government was with, because it is President Yoweri himself, no, it is General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni who abolished all these other things, coffee marketing board, whatever. Therefore, General Museveni should not lay a claim that he is the grandfather of rationalization. It is actually assumed the case. Now, from our standpoint, we are not totally against rationalization of agencies. And in Parliament, Honorable President, Your Excellency, we have supported almost 90% of agencies that have been rationalized. And led by the able leadership of our leader of opposition, Honorable Joe Rosenyomi, we've been able to support various bills. But for every rule, there is an exception. Even the government agencies, even the agencies to be privatized, to be rationalized by government, it's not all of them. Some have remained. The National Oil Company, the National Oil Authority, including Kampala State Council Authority. If they want to talk about duplication, let's go to Kampala State Council. They have a minister and a deputy minister. They have an executive director. They have a good mayor. They have a speaker, a very powerful speaker. So if they wanted to proud out duplication, they should have started with the KCCA and taken away all the ministers and blah blah, and go back to the mayor being the head of that institution. But that's not to be the case, and we're not making that case. And they said the National Uganda Revenue Authority. By the way, Uganda Revenue Authority is also an agency that was created of late. It is also under the Ministry of Finance. Therefore, rationalization is not omnibus. So there are some agencies that needs to be spared. Now, why do we make a case for coffee? We grow coffee, export coffee, but we are not a hugely a coffee consuming country. Ethiopia grows more coffee than us, but Ethiopia consumes a lot of coffee internally. Nearly 90% and almost 95% of our coffee is for export. The countries where we export coffee have become very keen because of the new non-communicable diseases on what they are. So when you export to a country accredits you and satisfies you that the quality of the product you have exported, and for them they have imported, they are to a standard which will not cause health issues to their citizens. Therefore, for coffee, they accredited the Uganda Coffee Development Authority to have the power, to have the stamp, it's the only authority that stamps every bag of coffee that gets exported out of this country. And when that accreditation is withdrawn, you can no longer export your product to some particular country. Therefore, the struggle one is that if you dissolve, because Section 4 of the bill talks about dissolving UCDA. But let me tell the country, the talk of 3 years being marketed is not anywhere in the bill. The bill does not in any way talk about 4 years. They are talking about a dissolution of coffee UCDA instantly. When you dissolve, instantly you lose the accreditation. When you lose the accreditation, you can no longer export coffee. And therefore, this move by government, I don't know in which phase, is to ensure that the new wealth that has come up with adding up to 5 trillion is to really collapse the coffee. So we are telling the president, one, best practices for coffee. We're not the only coffee growing country Ethiopia does, Kenya does, Brazil does, Honduras does, Vietnam does, Cambodia does, and a host of other countries. Now, the global market in its unique way for coffee is that coffee, not in any country, is being done through a main ministry. It is through an agency model. An agency model is like you have a special purpose vehicle for marketing coffee and growing coffee. And the thing about coffee export is about the quality of your coffee. However, the quality of coffee is not determined at export level. It is determined right from the nursery bed to how you organize your plantations, to how you harvest your coffee, how you dry it, how you roast it, and how you pack it, and how you export it. So along that value chain, you need a 24-hour monitoring capability by a specific agency dedicated to ensure that at no stage, at every stage, you have to get it right. Therefore, when you crowd out coffee and dissolve the UCDA and you put coffee in the Ministry of Agriculture, which has all agricultural products, which has tea, tobacco, ware, vanilla, blah, blah, you may lose that eagle eye for detail. And therefore, you may affect the quality of our coffee. Now, for those countries, it is a question of a random sample. When you export containers of coffee, they just pick a container and say, we're going to check this one. Once they check one, and it's not up to standard, they reject the whole consignment. Not the whole consignment, they review. Therefore, if you want to rationalize coffee and rationalize UCDA, you are removing an agency that has built expertise, capability, and knowledge, and the marketing capacity to market our coffee. And consequently, you will do so. We are not the first country to try to do what the government is trying to do. Ethiopia tried. Kenya, our neighbors, tried. They abolished their coffee board and coffee authorities and mainstreamed the coffee into the main ministry. In 3 years, they had lost 50% of their coffee exports. Common sense, once bitten, twice shy. If Kenya tried it and failed, and they are reverting back, they reverted back to the government, to the agency model, why do you want to reinvent the wheel? Why do you want to try something that has failed elsewhere? We are simply telling government, please, don't do so. It's been tried elsewhere and found wanting. Secondly, if UCDA, because the argument of General 7 is that it is the Operation Wealth Creation that has led to this success, that is a wrong assumption. There have been so many, they could have played a small role. Operation Wealth Creation was only at the distribution of seedling stage. Seedlings they were distributing were coming from nursery beds that had been monitored and prepared, organized by UCDA. And from there afterwards, it is UCDA that has been taking over. Therefore, and also the case is, Operation Wealth Creation was not only for coffee. It was for vanilla, it was for mango, it was for limawa, it was for many other things. Let them show us the success of it. Let them show us success, how they've succeeded. Now, the Minister of Agriculture, the people from Chisoro, Kanungu, the Minister of Agriculture, solely has been undertaking our team. What happened to our team? We lost accreditation. We cannot export as Uganda tea. What happens? We age our tea on the Kenyan market and it's bought by Kenyans, packed Uganda tea, packed and stamped Kenya and exported to the world. It has been under the watchful eye of the Ministry of Agriculture. They fed on fish until they had to put in the military. They found on any, I've asked the Minister of Agriculture to give us one crop which they can give us to build the confidence as the benchmark where they have succeeded. Absolutely none. Therefore, we are saying this agency, by the way, in addition to being a chairperson of Ghana Parliamentary Caucus, I also chair Public Accounts Committee. Still members of this paper, of this what? This party. And I've just made a very fundamental report, SE, on the national economy, to which government up to now is struggling to put a response. But that's for another day. I've just audited the Ministry of Agriculture. This is the ministry that is in intensive care. It is on oxygen. It is very, very sick ministry. It cannot score a plus on anything. It scores all the minuses. And therefore, this sick ministry, you cannot entrust it with your health what? Baby. Now, the president of the party, Honorable Robert Chaplain, said in the morning, asked me to come and explain to you why the parliamentary stand, why is the caucus. By the way, give due regards to our leader of opposition. For the first time in the history of Parliament, for as long as I've been there for 10 years, about 10, 12 years. For the first time, Honorable Robert, Right Honorable Joel Semen was able to run a minimum number of MPs that are required to challenge a decision of the Speaker. Because of the Speaker has been using that window of I, and nay, and pass dubious things from today. That is of the record set by Joel Semen will not permit the Speaker of Parliament to pass any other resolution which is anti-people without people voting and without us knowing who has voted. So they will not hide under eyes, no. We will just stand out, photo of us and say, let's go to the vote. If the matter is that contentious, we will not do it on every other bill. But so that we keep that Parliament. I think thanks to the National Unity Platform and our leadership that we got that minister power for which Right Honorable Speaker Anita Among has been hiding to pass dubious budgets, dubious expenditure, where we cannot now have the number and the courage to challenge it. That's not a minor's achievement. Mr. President, also, I want to make, because finally, we are saying our position as a caucus is that don't rationalize, don't abolish UCDA. Rationalization means abolishing. Dissolving. Section 4 of the bill says we shall dissolve UCDA. We are saying basic practices of goodwill is to do it through agency. And the president, Mr. President, you can no longer, and I think General Museveni is going to be hooked on this one properly. If he believes in it, he should wait. Mr. President, in the next 12 months, we shall find him down in the trenches. And on coffee, he's going to lose totally. So we are in it for a long haul. It's not an issue I'm going to give up. It will not stop on, even if the martial numbers, this one, we will struggle and take it to the people of Uganda and we tell the president, hands off. Actually, there has been a propaganda, which I will use, Mr. President, in a minute to debunk. The propaganda is that the president called me on the question of UCDA. The president did not call me. Led by the able leadership of the leader of opposition, we agreed to do everything to talk to anybody to save coffee. So in the morning, we decided to meet the Speaker of Parliament and make our case. By the way, let us struggle to go to power. You plead with these people as if we are pleading with the angels on simple, obvious things. So in the morning, the Speaker knows. The caucus met the Speaker. And in the meeting, we made a case. The speaker said, "Party people are damn right, but my hands are tied. I'm sent to do this job by the president. And how many ministers as well? A little bit dishonest. Without seeking the opinion of the caucus, she called the president. There and there, said, Mr. President, the caucus is here. It has made a good case. We think this bill is wrong, and therefore it should be removed. That's their view. And without inviting, said, Chairman, here is the president. Here is General Museveni. So there were two things I could do: to refuse, and when I refused, she would have said, "It's you and the chair of caucus who refused to speak to General Museveni." So what do? I said, "Okay, give me that General Museveni." Immediately said, "You want to do Uganda? Womututu obuzabuza abantu osikama wanga okola biki muli eyo mubuzabuza abantu temutegeera." Very crude and becoming of a president for someone he has never talked to. Then I said, "Okay, Mr. President, for me I come from Butambala. When I meet a stranger, I greet him with salam. Okay, salam alaikum." Then he realized that civil people don't start addressing others so crudely. And he sobered up. I said, "Now, okay, now I hear you now. What are you saying?" I told him, "Mr. President, what the hell do you want our coffee for?" I gave him all the rationale. I said, "My government will not accept your propaganda, you are misleading people." I told him, "Mr. President, you will accept." I used it now, you can't call the President General. I said, "Yeah, General President, our stand as the caucus, our stand as the coffee growing community in Uganda, leave UCDA alone." And the business was closed. He said, "You go to hell. You are just another radical Uganda." That's why
ensonga zino abakomenti nzibalekedde.
God is good. All the time God is what? Now the country did not know that this law had been brought to target a particular tribe until the Speaker of Parliament on the floor of Parliament now reviewed. She forgot to switch off the mic. That's why God was fighting for the people of Uganda. She forgot to switch off the what? The mic. And made the blood of all brothers. By the way, in other countries, if it had happened in Europe, in everywhere, Anita Mom would have resigned yesterday. Good things happened. A Speaker of Parliament, when I was appointed by for example, I'm a chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. Much as I'm NUP, I have other members of caucus who are not NUP. I have members of caucus of NRM, of DP, of CP, of independents, as long as they come from what? This region. So when I'm in that chair, I don't necessarily take the national unity position. I try to, even if it's a national unity position, I try to market it. But I try to try as much as possible to be neutral. Because that's the leadership code of what? Conduct. Now, the Speaker of Parliament is stopped by our rules of procedure to participate, to debate on a matter on the floor. But for her now to take side and say, "Do we have numbers?" That means she had a side. Then use the staff of Parliament to say, "Please ensure these Uganda don't get the numbers." Now, the Speaker of Parliament in Uganda, we have the anti-sectarian law. So the Speaker of Parliament abused the anti-sectarian law, and as day follows night, when Parliament resumes, tomorrow we are sitting as a caucus again to review our stand, but we don't think two things. We don't think Speaker Anita Mong can no longer preside over that Parliament where they are gone. Because she's not going to take us away. Is she going to take us away? We are there for that. Secondly, you told her, if we really want, offer an equivocal apology to the people of Uganda and to the people of Uganda. Something I'm saying, if you fail to do so, resign. The next action, I'm going to reveal it here. I need to first approve with our members, which we are the idea we have. We are saying we may, if she insists. But be as it may, we will ensure Parliament does not proceed on any other matter until that one is resolved. That is our stand. Finally, in English, the President wants the other day that we are trying. That the people, now, of the things I've said about of what is tried there. But let us examine President Museveni on tribalism, where he has the moral authority whatsoever to call any group tribal. This is the President, so to say, for the first time, who appointed a wife a minister. His wife a minister. His son a CPA. His brother a small president. He is Bako, running the judiciary, running the coffee. Now, can he talk about the tribe? For him, he's even beyond the tribe. Is family. But also let us examine. If he doesn't have a conspiracy, because at the end of the day, I read the papers, if he doesn't have a conspiracy against the people of Uganda, Vice President, he says, is Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, under his regime. Deputy is who? Aluku. Speaker, Anita who? Vice Speaker, Thomas who? Chief Justice, Prime Minister, there are four. One is Nabanja, she's from Buwero. Deputy is Moses Sali. Third is Rebecca Kadaga. Another one is Nakadam. Let's go to the historic appointments. Chief of Defense Forces, Mwozi who? Chief of Police, Abbas who? Chief of Prison is who? Pianasaija. So where do you, Mr. President, get the moral authority? You, General Kaguta Museveni, to say a particular group is sectarian. You should go and sleep over that. Then on coffee, so we have debunked his notion of tribalism. Then on coffee, sensible analogy. Some people, BobiWine and others, have been trying to market some idea that we dismissed as a caucus. And let me stand here. 3 years, 5 years is not the position of the caucus. The position of caucus is for non-dissolution of UCDA. I've given a crude example for clarity. Can you take a virgin woman and say, let me keep you there, you are still virgin, that somehow you'll get a man, and along the way, you'll be pregnant, but you'll give birth in 3 months. You must be a crazy person. Therefore, 3 years don't mean anything. For us, we are saying coffee is too big a crop to be under the Ministry of Agriculture. It's too big a crop to be under the Ministry of Agriculture, and we are going to do everything possible. But remember, members of national platform and the country, MPs are not enough. You people, I thank each of you who have been on social media, who have been using every platform, every media to amplify this message. Please, thank you so much. But let's do more. Tomorrow we shall announce an action plan on how we are going to fight this issue for the next 1 or 2 weeks. It is half time. It could be 1 year, but there's still another half to play for. There is still clause 4 for which you are going to resist. Clause 4 is for dissolution of UCDA, the caucus, and other members. And please, do a roll call of all members of the Uganda caucus who never attended the meeting. Where were they? Each of them must account. Where were you when the coffee was being taken? Yes. Mr. President, I thank you so much, Your Excellency. Muganda kantandikira ebijenkomi mwasijja kulwawo ekyogera ddala President tasobola kujja wano takyalina moral authority General Museveni Museveni tokyalina moral authority kuyita muntu yenna tribal. Teri ali tribal gwe kusingayo oli Museveni. Gwasinga okuba tribal. Gwe president wa Uganda yakasooka okulonda mukyalawo n'omufuula minisita. N'olonda mutabani we tayiti akulira amagye. Muganda wo Jenosali Musale y'omu kati alinga naye president omuto. N'akwata bakoddomi be kati mpulira mukoddomi we omulwawo ogwo ngenda basomera wano kampani zemanyi okumanya Museveni alimba lowooza tuli badongo.
Museveni fala.
Bwe twogerera yamaze dda okucontractinga ebitongole ebimu okutunda emmwanyi. Era ngenda bibagulira wano nga mala. Mutegeere nti ekimutwaze emmwanyi ajjawo UCDA kugisa mu nsonda agiwe peneti. Kugisa mu nsonda agiwe ki lwabwo. Yamaze dda okukola endagaano ne kampani y'Abachina, Chinese Construction Company, okugenda okutunda emmwanyi wa eChina. Ekinaavaamu nti n'emmwanyi zijja kukola ebbeeyi ku faamu y'omulima. N'olwekyo tukirekya Trump, Mr. President, tukuyite mutabani naye gavumenti yo tewalonda General Museveni katugitunulemu bweba Abaganda tebalinaako kikyamu. Olaba omusajja oyo Ssaabasajja nga mugagga nga mulwadde ng'ayagala okujjanjabi ng'abanja gavumenti ya General Museveni biliyoni 2.5 teyasobola dde okumuwaako biliyoni 5. Musajja we tuyejjanjabi omutya omulwadde alwadde akubanja n'otamuwa ssente n'otamusasula ki ssente ze. Naye nekyala walonda kabineti katugitunulemu ssebo omumyukawo alupo sipiika palamenti yo kuba bayisa mu kokasiyo ayitamu tayewa ya myuka omulamuzi Winidolo baprime minisita bali bana bade ye Winidolo baprime minisita bali bana. Asooka amuddira Moses Ali aba mu Westinali, amuddira Rebecca Kadaga Musoga, owookusatu Nakadama Musoga. Sima Baganda bakola ki? Butera ye deputy chief justice. Butera ne mubaroya nakusomya amateeka wano tofunayo wadde n'omu ogakale beerako mu myuka wa chief justice. N'ogenda n'olonda amagye n'ogawa muhozi Kanyerigoba, n'olonda poliisi n'ogiwa baasi, n'ogenda n'olonda ki prison n'ogiwa byaki byabasajja. Kati atukwata yani ye muhozi Kanyerigoba n'abaasi, atusalira emisango ye Winidolo, atutwala akutusiba otusibisa wani wabeerasayike. Ne kooti y'amagye ani agikulira bayiwe ani akulira kooti y'amagye abaana baffe gye bawadde yani ne kooti y'amagye naye yamuki ya Mugabe. Naye ngenda ku bitongole ebikesi ani dalekita wa iso Magambo anamumyuka Katabazi ani dalekita wa eso badipisi bonna so president ebyamawanga biveeko sirika Museveni sirike ku byamawanga. Amawanga ye caayi ye nsapa ye dina gy'olira ewaka. Waliyo ne byabakama yakulya akakiiko kaki k'ebyokulonda. Kakati kwesebo musajja ggwe General Museveni ojawa n'otengerera n'ossa ekiwandiiko kyabo amawanga teri akusinga kusosola amawanga okujjako ggwe. Naye wali ogenda mu nsiko ate si National Unity Platform mugirabe Secretary General waffe Lubongo siki ekyo oyo Muganda oyo Muganda. Kakati ffe awo twasukkawo dda awo wooli mu mawanga. Emboozi y'amawanga giveeko totubuzaabuza. Ensonga eziri mu ddiiro bbiri. Ensooka emmwanyi togikwatako. Eyookubiri Anita Amongo eyakoze byakola togenda mu mwekwekamu yeekwekewwo ogenda kutusansanya must go. Kati ebyo by'otuwulira ebirala mboozi kinumya olwala tuli kimera nga tukutwala ewa Mukama Katonda. so twatumye tetwagala abavuga ennaku zo bagamba tetwagala kukola ki manya tetwagala kukola ki manya twagala ebintu bibiri Bobiwine giveeko Anita must resign zensonga mmeka bizi kati totunyumiza mawanga biki byonna bwe tugamba kyemwanyi bajasi be bagikolako obulimu abo bwe bakolako bulimu vanira bwe bakolako aliwa bayinya abantu obusaanyi buliwa eyo minisitule gyakwata tetwala emwanyi zaffe nakamala gikolako audit eyo minisitule yagula embuzi mukitegera yagula embuzi emu obukadde 7 embuzi emitwalo 2 ne zifa mu wiiki 2 nga baziguza obukadde buki buli mbuzi zafa mu wiiki 2 wekyokyali mbuzi naki ye minisitule yagula tractor abatamanyi tractor ekikola tractor hydraulic system eyo yesitula yagula tractor nesitwala ekalamoja nga tekuli namaplate naye nga zagenda nga hydraulic system zaazo tezikola ziri eyo mu Uganda zonna eyo minisitule bagiwa okutambuza amazzi ag'ennimiro etwageyo pampu n'emu eyo minisitule erwadde covid eri mu ICU tosobola kutwalayo bebi waffe emwanyi yaganda negula terminance what happened ebyenyanja byagirema buli kimu kyakikola ki nekirema kyatasobola kuluma kutuusa mu mawanga mwebaza babaka wa palamenti 7 kubalonze batugenyi all of Uganda bonna mwavaddemu abakyoli bolanya abaani abagisutu abadde nabo Mr. President amawanga mwene ensonga tegagenda kukola ki
Mr. President yani
kukumanita amongo eyagenze n'akola ki mujjeno Museveni eno ensonga tegenda kukola ku nsonga eno tukkirize tukutwale naye tumugambira kino mu abantu bawa lubalembera ngaemukoze ki buli omu twebaza abali ku social media waliwo omwana yakikoledde senga mumanyi yagenze n'akuba emandwa n'akuba omukongozi emandwa kanyunyusi yakoze omulimu waliwo abawala betwali nga boogera ebigambo ebirungi ku social media buli omu gyali speak so act like so tujja kugenda mu maaso tujja kuwangula Ssaabasajja Kabaka awangaale kakati banzijukiza wano giri emyaka 2 egya BobiWine 3 ebyo bibye 5 ebyo bibye for position yako basi erikirya ekyo simu nze muwanga Kivumbi nsubira ne President General Museveni enamba yange tagiina twali twegayirira banange tubonaabona twegayirira sipiika ku makyalo tutegeere tuleme kugenda mu palamenti kulwana nenkunga ababaka ba palamenti bonna abatagala mwanyi tugende tusinkane sipiika betuba twali twogera ne sipiika ati ngamba tegedde nnyo ngambulabika muli batuufu nnyo ensonga zammwe ngezi ez'amagezi ensonga zammwe nga eza common sense naye n'ensonga pulezidenti yagituma gisobola gibasabirawo mu ngeri y'olukwesikwesi n'akwata essimu nga tuli mu miitingi awo n'ababaka bonna n'akubira pulezidenti nti amubuulire bitwogedde oba tyabimubuulira bulungi nabanga tabitegedde bulungi naye mukazi wadde oluvannyuma naga nti kale ne kyamaani atwala abaana ababaka waali yogera naye nga tuteze obukote bubiri betugamba okwogera ne General Museveni ajja gamba nti ffe twawaayo emwanyi twagwana okwogera ne pulezidenti nengagali nze ndi musajja ate oyagenda kunkola ki n'agimpa n'atandika mu ngeri etali ya bulijjo nagamba komaze ebbanga lyonna ng'oli mutudunga nkunoonya nangamba kakati goli eyo musiriwaza abantu mwonoona abantu musiga bukyayi bw'amawanga nayombera eddakiika naye musajja gwe n'enkola eyaffe ey'obufirika omuntu buli gwotamanyi osooka n'okola ki n'omubuuzaako ne bakale nze yakuzibwa obulungi kakutonera esalamu kamuguze ku mpisa benamuyigiriza ku mpisa olwo n'addamako obutale ogamba ki ne munyonyola byembanyonyodde tumwanyi kyemwanyi kiveeko togikwatako y'abantu baffe ye maama ye taata ye tubeezaawo kireke ne munnyonnyola by the way wakati w'emmwanyi n'amafuta ne mugamba amafuta kwoteredde ebitongole National Oil Company bisaawo ebiti
yakusaba ennamba yo bati yajokusaba eya mobile money
$22 ebyo biri mu ndagaano $2 billion mu bbiri okumala emyaka 25 si buli mwaka mu myaka 25 $2 billion ng'olwo bagamba eddola balo y'amafuta ekyagula $5 olwaleero balo egula 10
biki wayogera ne Museveni soko bitumalireyo
tugenda kufunamu $billion ng'eggwanga kubanga endagaano mbi nabanyonyola ddanga ne finance minister kyamafuta Museveni yagatunda
wano kalombo ebyekayagala wano tikyabyayagala oba kwali
leero twalese 1.4 billion ffe tunafuna million bags 20 tugenda kuba tulina billioni 3
Montagengere rombo ye wanayi katanajja
tetugenda kwaleka tukola ki nga tufuna mu myaka 25 emmwanyi ejja kubeerese billioni 75 nekyo tiimu y'emmwanyi esinga ey'amafuta ogenda owala kyovona baleese lwabugo aleese simanyi spaya Uganda akiwadde abachina peneti twamu mugobesa bugobesi mutugire peneti mu nsonda wali waki wali Ssaabasajja Kabaka awangale
tatumaliddeyo bya ssimu
tubiwulidde tukutegedde Katonda omulungi ono atali anguzi nabo omukongozi we anite bwavayo n'atunnyonnyola bulungi ekyama ekiri emabega kyatagetinga Baganda mwamutegedde ne bukiseerese webali kundonda nenkulira nembeera finance minister nembeera kyeyawa kokasi nembeera kyeyawa paapa singa sigwe singa siriiwo
kojja muwadde ebiri lawo pulezidenti weyewunya kojja naye gwe golubagambako ng'empingo ziruma wano y'enguudo ezaliwo laba zonna okubomoka Lumbo yatabaddewo bino obugenda kunnuma kuba ensonga ze bayogera ku ssimu tazimazeeyo ensonga ze bayogera ku ssimu ne Museveni teziweddeeyo
The bank from the Eastern, of course, our PPS is with us.
Ngenda kulinda satellite y'Empooma era kayaliko kwa ASP asimwe.
We have Honorable Katawazi.
Ezo nsonga kyeka tuzirina ku satellite y'Empooma.
We have Honorable Salukenya David. You're most welcome. Actually, Sabagabo. So, Mr. Mwanga Chivumbi, Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Agriculture, Wamwita Media Chasura Chomuka. Naye minisita wa agriculture mu by'okubba yafuna omudaali mu minisitule yali bamuyita tumwebazi ye mumyuka wa minisita wa agriculture n'omumyuka era amirama banaye Museveni toli musosozi wuliriza alina l'amirama ate amanya gegamuze sitakwatanga amirama tumwebaze Mega Cholisima, they are the ones managing where they want to send the coffee. Atenga Lwaboko, we bawazire billion yenya mwena munyo kumuligo kunywa kawa. naye kubameka wano abafuna kwokwaweere bwe yagabira abantu babo. Era ne mu paalamenti ya Uganda Anita Among yafacilitatinga Lwabogo okufuna. Lwabogo yawasa muwala wa Museveni, kati oyo mukodomi wa Museveni. Omulimu gwakola kati gwa kutunda kaawa, bamuwa $1,000,000 ze biliyoni 3.7 anoonya akatale. Naawe bakuwa $1,3.7 n'oba ng'obeere waife mu kyalo Idudi, wabaayo osobola onoonya bantu abafuna. Alina 37 biliyoni 4 kunywako. Mbwabali abantu bayiga okunywa kaawa. Kyokka ate ne bamwongera 3.7 agenda amutunda ebweru. Yo yayogera ku mawanga. So byonna bali mu lukwesikwesi ye yennyini kuba twagamba dda nti Pineti ye Museveni. Teri Pineti ye Museveni. So Museveni akozesa kati gavumenti eno gye yawamba okuwa Pineti okwewa palamenti. Era tuli mabega wamwe. Tetwabagamba nti abantu abo bavweyerusa nsi beerufu nnyo naye nga balowooza tulimba. She's a mafia. So ffe ebyokumujja mu ntebe tetujja kubawagira. Ndowooza ne NUP ejja kubawagira. Kuba that has been our position since then. Mr. Secretary General, come and address the press and also invite the President.
Thank you very much. Obugalo bwa Comrade Wise wa Alex Mutumyo. People power. Our power. Mr. President, members of NEC present, members of Parliament, mayors, speakers, councillors, fellow leaders at different levels. I think I will not say much because I think Honorable Mwanga Chibobi has done as well to elaborate what is going on. Tubadde twanjula candidate waffe ne posta eyo katugirage bannamawulire agenda kwaniriza president abantu balage tuli serious kati tugenda Kisoro very very soon. Please put it up very well. Secondly, I want to announce to you, ladies and gentlemen, we have been telling you that we are soon resuming our nationwide tour, and next week we shall start our nationwide tour. I don't want to tell you which district we are going to, but it will be in that man's region. Honorable Kaluya, we are going to teach us the Eastern region. Next week, Tanika, Uganda, Eastern Uganda, Mutulinde, Kwalachi, Tuja. Yes, isn't this a wonderful poster for our candidate in Kisoro? So, we are going to be in Kisoro. The nominations are going to be this week in Kisoro, and we shall all be there to support our candidate.
Ngenda Kisoro ndabe ebireyo. Ngenda Kisoro ndabe ebireyo Kisoro. Sauda Madada yamanya ati nechanze.
Batwa akabanga akatono nnyo for campaigns. Gwelaba district erina egombolola 24 naye ne bakuwa ennaku 12 zokka okukampeininga. Ate mumanye nti ebyo ebitundu biri diverse. Olaba osobola okuva mu kitundu kimu ng'olina okuvuga essaawa 2 okutuuka mu kitundu ekirala. Naye okuba tebaagala tutuukeyo, kyova olaba batuwadde baagala tubeere mu gombolola 2 mu lunaku lumu, which is not practical. Mujjukire kye baakola last time mu kalulu kwa president, edda etteeka lyali likyogera bulungi nti presidential candidate alina okubeera mu district emu buli lunaku. Naye mu kulonda kuno kwaggwa, kubanga baali batutya nnyo, baatulemesa ne twesanga tulina okukola district 3 buli lunaku. Kati bye bakola ebyo. Kyova olaba awamu twali tugendayo ssaawa 4 ez'okumakya, ne tuvaayo nga tulina okubeera wala ssaawa 6, ate tuveeyo tugenda walala ssaawa 8 oba 9. Era ne bakugamba by ssaawa 12 olina okuba olekeddaawo okukampeininga. Kati nkyakiseeyo mukitegeera mwenna nti bakimanyi bulungi nnyo nti singa tufuna ekiseera ekimala n'abantu b'Ekisoro ne tutuuka mu buli kitundu kyonna mu disitulikiti eyo, baba tebalina kyebalimba abantu kubanga bo batambulira ku bulimba byabadde ayogerako kandidate waffe ijana ku ijana bagenda ne basiruwaza abantu tebabawa services. Mwana wajuzi twagendayo president waffe bwe yakyalira abantu beeyo abatwa nasanga nga tebalina tanks, tebalina mazzi, tebalina kyakozesa kyonna kyonna, era ne tugenda ne tubadde libalingira tanka n'emmere n'ebirala bwe bityo. Kakati abantu abo ne tugezaako okubagula amaaso kati obalaba batuwa period ntono nnyo eyo campaigninga kubanga tebaagala tutuuke eri abantu tubazuukuse tubagule amaaso. Naye ekyenjagala bakakasa tugenda kubeerayo era tubasaba mwenna abasobola mugende mubeere ekisolo at least mukole ekintu kimu kyonna ekyokuzibula bano abantu amaaso okulaba nti ijana ku ijana tekola kubanga ijana ku ijana ku dirikinga abantu tebalina byakulya ng'abantu tebalina mayumba, tebalina we basula, abaana tebasoma. Eyo district is one of the poorest districts in Uganda. Eyo gye twogerako kisolo. Naye n'owulira nga basiriwaza ba RDC bagenda ku radio ne bagamba ijana ku ijana. Ekitegeeza 100%. Mu kulonda kwagwa bwe baalaba bye twali tukola ne bakwata bano abantu abasinga ne babasiba candidates agents baffe ne babasiba n'ebirala bwe bityo. So tujja ekisolo okulaba nga candidate waffe Honorable Tana kamuyite ne Honorable nga butali naye tekulaba nti asobolera ddala wa Honorable amusobolera ddala
boleka
kale abaana nga si tuteekudde bonna bulala. I don't want to waste any other time. Yeah, before I actually, that's a very important thing. Before I invite the president, our comrade H.E is here. Where is he? Comrade H.E, who just returned from detention for a very long time.
Your sweat and the tears in your eyes. Everything shows you want to give up. And I can feel your pain and your grief and your tears. And all your frustrations.
People power. Sebo, tukusanyukidde okulaba olunaku olwaleero kubanga ye press conference yo esoose okubeera wano. Ono omukulu yatwala wano mu nsonga za security ku kitebe kyaffe. Mumanyi bulungi nnyo be bamutuusaako n'ebirala bwe bityo. Naye nammwe njagala kubeebaza mwenna abadimandinga for the release of Comrade H.E. Mwebale nnyo abaabeeranga bakuleetedde sapule kubanga abasajja bwe bakwata H.E kye basooka okukola mukimanyi bulungi nnyo bamwambula sapule ye era president n'ajja wano n'akibalaga. Mwebale nnyo honorable. Eno yavudde Vatican era ndaba ekifaananyi kya Paapa weekiri. Muganda waffe H.E, thank you for coming back. Ate webale nnyo okukomawo ng'oli strong. Webale nnyo ddala. Mr. President, without taking any other time, let me invite you to come and address these people and the nation. People power. Our power.
Kati azze atane sharing ata likinga video kati azze kubyogera wane mirembe gyaliwo.
Thank you. People power. Our power. NUP. And everywhere. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please be doing seats. Thank you, SG. I also want to add my voice in welcoming back Comrade H.E. Strong, brother, strong. One day all this will be history.
Pastor ensonga zino soko zireke.
I also want to congratulate
Secretary Mpomate Mpamotofu.
already confirmed. We'll be there, we'll stand with you, and we'll weather the storm together. I've not seen Swabra or the Giant. I want to congratulate them. had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time on Saturday. Congratulations, comrade. Honorable Mwanga Chibumbi did justice to this matter, and that has helped me. I'm going to be very, very brief on this coffee bill. Although Honorable Mwanga Chibumbi was a little too diplomatic, and he had a lot of English, like all experts. But in simple terms, this coffee bill is an attack on coffee farmers in Uganda. And this is not Anita Mong's bill, this is Museveni's bill. Museveni is the architect of this bill. Among and others are only enablers. This is not the first attempt. Museveni tried to take your coffee, hiding behind Beneti. So this is yet another attempt, and he will not stop until we stop not just the bill, but the man himself. It is no secret. He has a very, very clear path, a clear trail behind him. Remember what happened to vanilla. Once upon a time, a kilo of vanilla was 300,000 shillings. And now, it's 10,000 shillings, I think. 3,000 a kilo. But the price of vanilla on the international market has not reduced. But now, it's just a few people, Sudhir San and a few people connected to the powerful are the ones that own Uganda's vanilla, all your vanilla. Not only vanilla. You know what happened to the sugar cane? They started by zoning, now you know how much the sugar cane is. The price of sugar just continues to go up. Same thing that happened to many other things, including my runchi. Pineapples, etc., etc., etc. The people that come from West Nile, you know what happened to tobacco. No wonder you don't have thriving, distributors, you don't have Sportsman, Benson and Hedges, and all those other cigarette factories and manufacturers here anymore. It was deliberate. The people of Western Uganda, you know what happened to milk. Milk products have never cut prices, but your milk was controlled and given to one family, Museveni's family. You know what happened to our gold. Now gold is exclusively belonging to one family. And all the gold mines, if it's not for Janet, it's Mohozi, it's not Mohozi, it is Sodom and others. You know what is happening to our fish. You cannot fish on our God-given lakes, given to a few people. So me, I want to be blunt and say that all lucrative sectors are given to Museveni's family in a way of colonizing you further, of taking away your national wealth, of making sure they control your income, because only poor people can be effectively controlled. That is what Museveni is doing. These are not amongs. They are only tools. They are pawns being used. Forget the nonsense of cutting costs. That is a blunt lie. I mean, the same person that is claiming that is cutting costs has RDCs, useless RDCs. Now, deputy RDCs and assistant deputies. Sounds like a joke, but it's true. That is Museveni for you. The same person who claims he wants to cut costs has 82 ministers. Many of them, I'm sure he does not know them. That's the person who's claiming he wants to cut costs. He has presidential advisors. He uses 2 billion every day. He oversees the loss of 10 trillion shillings in corruption. The same person who could control it. It is under his protection that one of his courts smuggled a bill of 9.6 billion shillings. Apparently, like Comrade Wise was saying, to teach Ugandans how to drink coffee. That is the person who is claiming to want to cut costs. In the Dubai Expo, they spent 3 billion of our money just to hire a stall on Dala, Memorial of Dubai. 3 billion in Kumisa. The same person, the same regime that claims they want to cut costs under State House alone. I mean, he claims he wants to merge, and that's a lie, it's not merging. Like Honorable Mwanga Chibumi put it clearly, Section 4 of that bill puts it clear. They want to scrap UCDA and put it under Ministry of Agriculture. But the same person knows that we have URA, but he created the Revenue Intelligence Unit and he gave it to a known thief. The same person knows that we have Ministry of Health, but under State House there is Health Monitoring Unit with a budget. The same person claiming he wants to cut costs. We have Ministry of Lands, but he created Land Monitoring, Land Protection Unit under State House. It goes on and on and on and on and on. You have IDG, but you have State House Anti-Corruption Unit. So, I mean, those things of saying they are cutting costs, it's a lie. It's a wrong excuse. But that's the Museveni that we have known all the time. And those of you that didn't know him, now that is the Museveni for you today. Our farmers, our coffee producers, have wailed and said, save UCDA, it's helpful. Because indeed it's helpful. Yes, our coffee is not as vibrant as it was in yesteryears. But UCDA has been very helpful. Under UCDA, you've seen that coffee farmers have been happy. They've noticed a growth in the production of coffee, in the value of coffee, on the international market, etc., etc., etc. So, why then stop something that's functioning well to reduce it to a system of things that have failed? You have seen the corruption in the Ministry of Lands, even before the current minister. I mean, the same Lands Ministry oversaw the selling of national ranches to individuals, companies, and groups. And now, that's the same ministry under which you want to place our coffee. In brief, Museveni wants to place our coffee in the hands of Rwamirama, in the hands of Pres.H.E, in the hands of, who is the permanent secretary? Major Tom wants to place your coffee. So this, in no uncertain terms, is an attack on the pockets of the coffee growers. And he knows who the coffee growers are. It is a plan to have a few people take your coffee and control you financially and economically. Also, the idea of putting a plant in Tungamo is not practical. Why? Because coffee growers are scattered all over the country. You want to tell me coffee from Obisu has to first travel and go to Tungamo?
Good evening, Mchala Maria.
What was the logic behind that? Is Tungamo the most vibrant coffee growing district in Uganda? You know the reason why they are doing that. So, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the spirit in which this bill was brought, I can tell you it is an attack. And I mean, God is wonderful. It works in different ways. And it among, in English there's a kind of tongue slip called a fruitish slip, where you accidentally spill the beans and say out what is on your heart. In Uganda, there's the manga bagita batya mu Luzungu.
Uncle Ismail Mogologo ayinza okutunyonnyola.
In manga gye bayita bwanika.
Uncle Ismail musajja omuganda ono ayinza otunyonnyola Mr. President.
It's not very good to joke with this Maganda because they have that manual. Now ended up spilling the beans. So this bill, ladies and gentlemen, me I will be crude. This bill is intended to punish the people of Uganda and the people of Bugisu and all those coffee growers for voting Museveni out. They are looking for all avenues where you earn a coin and they want to steal for it.
It's true.
What they have done to vanilla, what they are doing to the lakes and all the water bodies is what they want to do to the coffee. And if you don't fight back, they will succeed. You remember these people wanted to take your land by bringing an amendment to ensure that when the government, and you know the government is Museveni, that when the government wants your land, they first take it and then tell you how much they pay. If you didn't fight, you would have lost the land. If you don't fight this time, you're in big trouble. So this is a way of clamping down on you. It is intended to impoverish you because poor people will always be beggars.
It's true.
That is the intention. The coffee industry, ladies and gentlemen, here in Uganda is sustaining more than in Uganda, 12 or 2 families. Wow, not 2 hours wrong. 12 million families are surviving on coffee. And now somebody wants to take them on their knees using this bill. And if you don't fight, my friends, that's exactly what you are facing. I request you to reject it firmly. But most importantly, and this is very important, please note it, that those that are presenting that bill and those that are speaking for that bill are not innocent. They are not only expressing an opinion. You know, this attack is a crime. It's a crime when you impoverishing people deliberately. It's a crime. It's supposed to be a crime. And these people speaking for that bill, for that deliberate effort to impoverish our people, they are not innocent. They are not only expressing an opinion. They are part of that project. They are part of that plan. They have a duty. Their role is just to speak. Their role is a propaganda role. You need to understand this. In every attack on a people, everyone has a role. The military has a role to brutalize you. The so-called intellectuals have a role to go on TV, put on ties, and speak a lot of intellectual dishonesty to sanitize it. So this is an attack on people which will have dire consequences if you don't fight. Speaking for it should be equally culpable. They are not innocent. So treat them just like their masters because they are serving a role. Their role is a propaganda role. And that propaganda role is very, very effective in breaking a people. Very, very sadly, some of them are paid. Not just paid, but they are paid limited group of people. I'll say that again. Some of those are paid members of those of that affected group of people. Because they know that the affected group of people will trust them and believe them easily. Criminals too. Amongst words, ladies and gentlemen, were not a mistake. Those are words of Museveni. Those are words of amongst friends. Those are words of amongst friends. Many of them are from here in Uganda. Have you seen them? Have you heard from them? Did you see them in parliament on that day? I'm asking, did you see them on parliament that day? Have you heard anything from them? Hopefully the first word they speak when they show up will not be Chakulanyitayakala Buganda. Yasindikiriza nani tamongo kugiri bigambo.
N'okwetema amaganzi enkola yateeka mu luggya.
I hope this shows you that this regime attacks different groups
differently. Nobody is safe. What happened in Karamoja when they took their minerals that would have transformed their lives is exactly what happened in Busoga when they crushed the sugar cane. That is what is going to happen to Bugisu, to Buganda, and many other regions in Uganda that benefit from coffee. Coffee can be coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to also talk about our political prisoners who are forced to take a guilty plea. These are innocent people. When I was speaking last time, I encouraged all of you to stand with them, to be kind to them, to understand them. I also want to inform you that the regime has no limits on how far it can go with this shamelessness. Now, apparently, they want to take those people to Chankwanzi as soon as they come out of prison. I spoke to one of them. She knows I understand, and she knows many of you understand. She expressed her fears and told us that whatever we can do, we should help her and other friends that have not weakened yet to defend them, because once they are convicted, all they have to do is serve their sentence and get the hell out of prison. Museveni and his regime have no power or responsibility over Olivia Rutaya and those prisoners. So after their sentence, they should be freed. But that will not happen unless if you raise your voices. Please don't forget them. Continue raising your voices for them. I also want to remind us, all of us, about our missing brothers. Up to now, several years later, our brother John Bosco Chibalama is still missing. On Saturday, his twins, who are now 8 years, they were 2.5 years when he was taken away. Now, his twins, Noreen Chibalama and Samuel Chibalama, were having their confirmation in the Catholic Church, and I had to go and stand in as their father. But it's not only Chibalama John Bosco. We have Damulira John, we have Wangolo Shapik, we have Rukwago Martin, we have Semodu Michael, Musisi Mbowa, we have Nalumoso Vincent, Zemola Dennis, Kanata Muhammad, Katumba George, Mbabazi John, Moses, Sempida Yuda, Mugumya Arafat, Chitio Peter, Muemba Mustafa, Mobiru Hassan, Sesazi Isma, Chisembo Godfrey, and those are the few that we were able to know. They are still missing. We still want them back, dead or alive. So Museveni and your people, please bring back our people. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Muzikirize ndizene mu Luganda pola mpola. Basebo ne banyabu ready namazedda okuyozayoza candidate waffe Comrade Tana, Honorable Tana, candidate waffe wa Isolo district. Already mazu kulisayo muganda fe akirewo mu batuju ate nga boye bayita banabo abatuju maze okuyozayoza manyina fe swakula omukisa
kwali kuno bali mu kunoonya balongo.
Honorable Mwanga Kivumbi atukoze bulungi nnyo
twagala balongo
azinyenyodde bulungi naye kawe ngambye nti yabadde decent nnyo, abadde mukkakkamu nnyo ng'ayogera ku nsonga zino n'olulimi akozeseza olulimi olw'ekigunjufu. Ebiseera ebimu bw'oba oyogera ku nsonga ez'abantu abataliimu bugunjufu n'akamu, abataliimu kuswala n'akamu, nze ndowooza nti wabawo ekiseera ebigambo tolina birikirira n'obyogera nga bwe biri. So munzikirize Yesu okutaanya ensonga za Honorable Mwanga Kivumbi, nze mbyogere bwogezi nga bwe biri. Nti lino etteeka ly'emmwanyi okugyawo Uganda Coffee Development Authority okuginyiga mu minisitule y'ebyobulimi. First of all, kya bulimba, balimba nti baagala biga tabogasi, baagala kugyawo kitongole kya UCDA bakiteeke mu minisitule y'ebyobulimi. Minisitule eyo ekulirwa Frank Tumwebaze, the Minister of State ye Bride wa Mirama atenga permanent secretary yani ikamuka abantu benyini betulabye gye buvuddeko nga buli ministry gye bakoleddemu babadde bunyaguluzi ministry yennyini eyo ebyobulimi mumanyi pati yazanya mu kutunda n'okugabangula branches oba amalundiro agali agavumenti agali mu mayiro ne mayiro ez'ettaka naye ekyo kivuddeko njagala ensi yonna ekimanye nti obwo bulumbaganyi obwakoleddwa ku balimi b'emmwanyi nga baagala okubaavuwaza nga baagala okubafukamiza kubanga abaabo bwe bafugika eryo etteeka sirya Museveni Anita Mongo ne banne just bakozi naye etteeka lyabagiddwa Museveni. Abazze batunuulira ensonga munajjukira nti tekitandise kati ate mwanyi tebazitandise kati bayagala oddozitwala naye ekyo kintu kimu kye bakola ku vanira mikwano gyaffe bangi nnyo vanira yali atuusiza obulamu bwabwe mujjukira nti ku ntigo ya vanira kiro yali egula $3,000 naye kaakati nze mbagamba kiro egula $1,000 Honorable Katabazi n'angamba nedda oli ku bikadde kati egula $3,000 ekiboga be bagitunda ebbeeyi bagitunda $5,000 yali ku $3,000 njagala obadde ka vanira tekasalanga tekakenderanga mu nsi yonna ku katale k'ensi yonna vanira akyagula kyekimu naye mu abalimi baagala babafootolere wano kubanga bataddewo etteeka toyina woyinza mu kutunda oyina muguzaffe kakati abantu abagula vanira bali 3 nga mwabo mwe muli mutabani wa Sudiri kwegamba makinga sure obugagga bw'ensi yonna babukwata ne babusa mu bantu 3 oba 4 either abaabo ab'omunju oba abakulira be basobola okukontrolinga ekyo tebakikomya ku vanira ekyo bakikola ku bikajjo era abaana b'e Busoga mumanyi bulungi twakula tumanyi cash crop eve Busoga bikajjo nga Abasoga beewana n'ebikando kati waiswa era ddamu weewane n'ebikajjo se bwe batyo bwe bakola Museveni bwe yasobola okunafuya ebyennyingiza ebyenfuna by'Abaganda baffe ab'e Busoga n'abalala abatali Busoga naye abaalimanga ebikajjo tebyalimwanga Busoga naye kubanga bisinga kulimwa Busoga be baali target people era nasobola ekibatuusaako mu ngeri emu baganda bange njagala mujjukire gye buvuddeko myezi mitono basalako amayirungi era abalimi b'amayirungi bali mu bweyaguza bujjo n'olunaku ekyo tebakomawo bagenda ku buli sekita na buli bantu balima kintu ab'omu West Nile bwe baali basinga okulima wano Taba ekyo nakyo ekiggwa bwekityo abaana b'omwankole abaali bafulumya amata bamakinga sure nti amata ago gakontrolingibwa mukodomi wa Museveni yawasa muwala we tekyakomaawo buli kyabugagga kya ggwanga si bya bulimi byokka byokka tunulira gold kati gold wa famire ya Museveni yekkirizibwa yokka okusuubula gold okumufulumya eggwanga ate nga tesasula na musolo ebirombe bya gold mu Uganda byonna kati bya famire ya Museveni kiba si kya Janet kiba kya Salewe kiba kya Sita Salewe muze mubiraba yonna emubende erubaali n'ewalala yenkola gye bazze bakola ebyennyanja kati ennyanja zonna basalako okuvubirako olina kubeera waabwe bwe batyo bagenze banyigiriza ebyenfuna by'abannansi kakati saawa zino bali ku mmwanyi so njagala mukimanye nti eno evo tobona okaweevubeera ng'okufaanana ku kaweevu omulala abaddewo wakubaakuwaza kubakakkanya kubafukamiza mubeere nga temulina kimugamba okujjako nga mufukamiridde Museveni oba abafukamireyo of aboogezi be bavuddeyo nga bagamba nedda twagala kukendeeza ku nfulumya tetusobola kubeera ne ministry ebyobulimi ate nga tulina n'ekitongole ekikulakulanya emmwanyi ekya Uganda Coffee Development Authority naye kambabuuze omuntu agamba nti ayagala kugatta bitongole bino okufulumya ssente kukendeere ye muntu y'omu ayina baminisita 82 abamu tabamanyi na mannya mujjukira mingi ayina abaminisita bameka 18 Museveni alina baminisita 82 muyinza n'okeera ku makya ng'ayongeddeko omulala alina ba RDC n'ateekako ne ba deputy RDC kati ataddeko ne ba assistant deputy RDC abo bonna basasulwa ku ssente ya muwa musolo owa Uganda naye agamba teyagala kukola ki kukendeeza twejaajanya na nsaasaanya
ensonga zinankweyifumata ziraba
biliyoni oyinza okugamba zibafumbisa baziteeka mu kyoto ye muntu y'omu abantu be babba triliyoni 10 buli mwaka
mutabani wanywa biliyoni
okusolozebwa mu musolo so balinda nga zimaze okusolozebwa ne basooka ne batemako ezaabwe ye muntu y'omu agamba nti kati emmwanyi ayagala ginyiga mu minisitule ey'ebyobulimi naye nga minisitule nyingi bwe ziri waliwo minisitule y'ebyobulamu ministry of health naye under state house yateekawo budget number eringa ministry tulina Uganda Revenue Authority naye yataddewo revenue intelligence unit mu state house n'agiwa budget naye eringa ya ministry tulina ekitongole kya IGG inspector general of government naye yateekawo state house anti-corruption unit naye n'agiwa budget eringa ya ministry yagamba nti ayagala kugatta ze ministries tulina ministry of lands naye yateekawo land state house land protection unit n'agiwa budget naye eringa ya ministry naye agamba ikuke mwanyi tusaasanya sente nyingi nnyo so njagala mumanye ti bino byakubasibuwaza naye ng'ekigenderwa kubaabuwaza agenza okulaba mu mwanyi mugaggawala nnyo n'agamba nazo kanzikwateko ate nga bumunakkiriza nazajja zitwala Museveni tagenda talina kyagenda balekera mujjukira banga toneriize yali ayagala kutwala ttaka lyammwe lyonna ng'ayagala kuyisa tteeka nti gavumenti ate nga mumanyi Museveni ye gavumenti wano bw'aba yeegombye ettaka ajja buzi n'agamba nti ettaka gavumenti eryagala litwala tujja kuwulira sente meka gavumenti ejja okuwa abantu bamala kulemerako ekyo tekifa so musaba muleme kusuula siteepu mulemereko nnyo ku mulundi guno kubanga singa temulemerako baganda bange mujja kuba muwe Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi tukoze bulungi nnyo n'obitunnyonnyola mu detail byabyo tekwali mugaso gwonna gwa kukata bitongole kuba kibagezaako okukola Kenya yakikolako enyingiza mu sekka y'emmwanyi eyeesana ebitundu 5 ku 10 balina okuddayo emabega kakati ffe yesi emmwanyi yaffe si ya tefuna nnyo nga bwe tulowooza bweyina okufuna nga bwe yali efunyeeko gye bwavo naye at least Uganda Coffee Development Authority ebadde eyambyeko abalimi era bino bigambo biva mu balimi abalimi b'emmwanyi nga bo bagamba ebayambyeko nti buli mwaka wabaddewo enkulaakulana wabaddewo growth mu bulimi bw'emmwanyi obungi bwe tufulumya n'omutindo gwe tufulumya obungi bwayo bweyongera ebitundu 3 ku buli 100 mu kufulumya emmwanyi wano jukira UCDA ebadde ekola okumala emyaka kati 33 nga tewali complaint balimi gye balinako naye kakati bangali scrappingawo nga already statistics zikulaga nti ebadde growinga growth ebadde 6.33 ebadde okula okutumbuka mu kufulumya emmwanyi obungi bwazo zeyongedde omwaka oguwedde 2023-2024 financial year kweyongedde by 6.33 ku buli 100 obutundu 6 n'obutundu 3 ku buli 100 yenkulaakulana y'emmwanyi tweyongedde okufulumya okuva okusinziira ku mwaka buli omwaka twafulumya ensawo z'emmwanyi miliyoni 5.8 2.23 naye kakati statistics zikulaga nti omwaka guno 2023-2024 okufulumya emmwanyi kubadde kwongedde okutumbuka twebaza bonna abapromotinze emmwanyi okuzirima n'ozifulumya nti kati omwaka guno gwako guno gwe tuli gwennyini financial year yennyini tufulumiza obusawo bw'emmwanyi bubaaga miliyoni 6 n'obutundu 17 So mwabadde okutumbuka mu kufulumya emmwanyi ne mu quality ne mu kuyingiza. Bw'oba osindise ku biwandiiko osindikizidde ku biwandiiko ebya Uganda Covid Development Authority, ojja kulaba nti omwaka guli twatunda emmwanyi za $8,848. Nate financial year eno tutunze emmwanyi za $1 namba mu milioni 14 mu milioni 14. So olabawo enkulaakulana. Kati enkulaakulana eyo mu kutunda emmwanyi n'omutitimbe gwa ssente guno gwetwogerako Museveni agwagala nga teguli mu bantu be. Ekyo kyayagala era bwe munakikiriza bwe kigenda okubeera. Eyo engeri yokka gy'osobola okufugamu abantu nga wava ssente nnyingi laga wano wavawo $1 namba n'omusomi. Kakati esekita mugimbe ndikwasa abantu bange tebabalimba n'omulundi n'ogumu. Emmwanyi kibadde kya bugagga eri bannayuganda historically wadde twasebengerera naye essaawa zino tuli ba musanvu mu nsi yonna mu kulima emmwanyi. Naye yetayagala kibeere nti ffe bannayuganda ffenna ffe b'omusanvu, ayagala kubeera nti ye abantu be ab'omu nju bakwasizza emmwanyi zaffe be bannamba 7 n'obugagga obwo bugenda eriko. So kino kigenderere kukwata sekita y'abantu abangi miliyoni ne miliyoni. Onabwapabudde wano emiliyoni 10 how many families? Families enju miliyoni 12 omanyi amaka obukadde 12 n'ekitundu nga be bafuna mu mmwanyi, be bayimiriddewo ku mmwanyi, be basabayiringa ku mmwanyi, be basomeseza abaana ku mmwanyi. Abo bonna obugagga bw'abantu, obugagga bw'enju, enju ebeeramu abantu babika ekitono. Kati twogera ku nnyumba miliyoni 12 n'ekitundu. Obwo obugagga bonna baagala kwefunza. Mu lunaku lumu baagala kukyusa ekyo obugagga obwo buve mu bantu abo budde mu family ya Museveni n'abo abamulya ku nkalo. So that is the reality. Era njagala obasaba namwe mukinyonyola abantu abalala baki understanding bajja kuleeta obubadi bungi. Kati wagambye twataddewo coffee plant erintungamu. Yes, kirungi zintungamu bakodomi bange, naye tubeere b'amazima. Emmwanyi ziri mu Uganda yonna. Omwamba otya nti emmwanyi ezivudde Mbale, ezivudde wano Buganda, ezivudde Soroti, ezivudde wa zonna zirina kukola ki? Kibakaba ye district esinga okulima emmwanyi mu ggwanga lino. So awo nawo wabaawo obutali bwenkanya. Nga natera okumaliriza njagala tutunulire n'omwoyo etteeka lino mwe baalireetedde. Mwoyo ki mwe baaleetedde lino etteeka? Lino etteeka mu ndaba y'omuntu yenna ne bw'aba ategeera mpola mpola alaba nti netteeka baalireese kubonereza Abaganda. Kubanga mwe singa okulima emmwanyi n'abeeyo ebugisu. Ate nkyogeddeko wano mu Luzungu naye mbadde serious nti wano mu Buganda waliwo ebintu byawo. Naye ate mu mmandwa eziri wano waliwo emmandwa gye bayitaani esobola okukola ki? Mugende muginoonyerezeeko asinidde. Emmandwa mwanattu esobola okutemba wonna w'oli nga wakoze ekikolobero oba wabbye waase muntu obeera awo ogenda okulaba ebigambo bikusaba otuse nga weeyanise ng'ekwanise. Mu Lungereza bakiyita Freudish slip of tongue. Neffe wano Buganda bagiyita mmandwa. Obyogera totegedde. Kati yagenze n'etembanita amongo n'abyogera byonna byonna. So ekyo njagala kibalage omwoyo gwe baleeteddemu etteeka lino babadde baagala kukkakanya. Ate Anita Amongo ebigambo byayogedde si bigambo bye, ebigambo bya Museveni, naye okusingira ddala bigambo byabo bakwano ba Anita Amongo. Lwaki ngamba bigambo byabwe? Mwabalabyeko mu parliament ng'ensonga enkulu ennyo ekwata ku bantu be bagamba nti babagalanye. Mwabalabyeko
badde beetema amaganzi nakyo netererwa mmeeme nkola yakiyita mu lujja
kibeewunyisa. so tekiri kye mbadde njogerako nti
mamaga
basobola okukwata abantu bwe baali baagala okubba ettaka mu apa bafuna abantu mu north ne babafuna ne babaleeta boogedera ensonga eyo baba baagala okunyigiriza abasiraamu bajja kufunayo omusiraamu yebikkirire na nnyo ajje ng'ayogera okusapootinga ekyo ekinyigiriza abasiraamu ne mu ngeri eno lwakuba ensonyi zikyali nnyingi naye ojja balaba nga bavuddeyo n'abalala batandise dde okuvaayo okubikkirira Anita Amongo mujja balaba nga bafuba nnyo okubakonvinsinga mmwe okubalaga nti omuntu abanyigiriza ye mukwano gwammwe ate omuntu agezako balwanirira ye mulabe wammwe mujja kubalaba nga bafuba nnyo tekyewunyisa yagadde bajjukiza nti abantu abafaanana bwe batyo bassebo ne bannyabo bye boogera just tebiba birowoozo byabwe byanze ndowooza bwenge birowoozo byange byawukana ku byo no teba nsobi eno projekiti yonna ey'okuompavarishinga ey'okunafuya n'okwagwaza n'okufufugaza abantu era eyo projekiti ebaako abantu bangi wabawo abagikulira walawo abapulenga paati y'abanikamu waliwo abapulenga paati ey'okuwamba obuwambi abantu waliwo n'abapulenga paati ey'ogendanga ku mpewo ne boogerera ebyo bikolobero nga babifuula ebirungi ate abapulenga paati nene kuba baagala okulaga nti ate omuntu omukyamu ye omutuufu ye mukyamu baagala okulaga nti mulabewo ye mukwano gwe ye mulabewo abantu abo mubeegendereza nga tebabeera innocent so bwe mbanga mubatunulira mubatunulire kukaliriza kuba nabo bali equally oppressive beera ddala waggulu bannange nga mbajjukiza nti singa mukkiriza ne babatwalako emmwanyi zange munaaba musigaza mujja kuba tumulina kimusigaza mbeebaza okumpuliriza njagala okubakoowola mwenna naddala abali around Western Uganda tulumbe ekisolo tukampeiningire sisita wafetana tugeyo obuwanguzi naye si buwanguzi bwokka tumakinge sure message yaffe eya change eya freedom n'ey'Abannayuganda okolera wamu ekuuka bulungi
nagamba maapo wasonyiwa kisenga
muzikirize balize nga njogera ku bintu bibiri ebirala ekyabaganda baffe abali mukomera abaasibwa nga tebalina musango obujulizi ne bubula ne babula omusango ababasalira naye ne basindika balamu ne banna abalala ne babagamba obuma temukkiriza musango bagenda basiba wadde temugwina olwo agala okugwa mukomera bakkiriza omusango naye nga boogera naffe nga bakimanyi naffe tukimanyi tebalina musango nga bwe nabasaba tuyimirire nabo saawa zino toyinza banenya nnyo kubanga bali mu mikono gya mulabe waabwe naye ate mu kiseera kye kimutuusamu nnyo ekitiibwa abakomrade abalemeddeko abakomrades nga Matete nga Kalanzi n'abalala kubanga si kyabuzira okukkiriza omusango gw'otazizza nakyogerako muzikirize neera mutakikemu kyogereko nti kibi nnyo tebakola abaana b'abandi okumufa osinga okukkiriza omusango gw'obutuju omuteekeko maaka nti ono terrorist naye ng'omusango ogwo taguzzanga naye tumanyi nti nga tumaze okuddayo mu kooti ebyo bisango byenagenda tubisazeemu kubanga byakiseera ekyennaku nti gavumenti ya Museveni terina limiti mu buswavu bweyinza kutuukako bagenze abo abantu oluvannyuma lw'obakkiriza emisango gye bataakola ne babasalira n'obasalira ate balamu n'abagamba kati oluvaayo tubatuusiza kyankwazi mugende babayigiriza okuwagira Museveni. Of course abasinga babiganye nayogeddeko ne mwannyinaffe Olivia Lutaya nantegeeza nti wadde bamukkiriza byatakkiriza naye ate bamusalidde omusango bakusalira omusango gavumenti bajja kigwinako obuvunanyizibwa kati asabinga kibonerezo kye era bw'avaayo ayagala kudda waka kusinkana famire ye naye ekyo kisobola okubeerawo only singa muvaayo nammwe ne muyimirira naye njagala okibasaba mwennaye ku social media abali mu Uganda n'abali eyo mubayambeko bannaffe abasobola okutuukira ebitongole ebirwanyizi by'eddembe byonna that is extra torture mu bigambo bye Olivia yangambye teyetaaga rihabu. Bwe bali rihabu ekomera bamusibye ate nga talina musango gwe yakola. So bamuleke ekiseera kye bamusibye ekinaggwayo bamwesonyiye baleme mulemerako ate mutwala mbyatakkiririzaamu. Nyongera n'obajjukiza baganda bange nti bannaffe abawambibwa tebalabikanga. Olunaku lwajjo abalongo muganda waffe John Bosco Kibalama be yaleka nga ba myaka 2 n'ekitundu baweze emyaka 8. Era mu ddiini yaffe y'Obukatoliki baadde bafuna konfirmansiyo n'abadde yeegayaza n'enyimirirawo nga kitaabwe okukiikirira taata waabwe John Bosco Kibalama. Tutayongera okubanja abantu baffe, si John Bosco Kibalama yekka, naye mulimu Damulira John, mulimu Wangolo Shafik, mulimu Lukwago Martin, mulimu Semuddu Michael, mulimu Musimbowa, mulimu Nalumo Vincent, mulimu Zibola Dennis, mulimu Kanata Muhammad, Kabumba George, Mbabazi Moses, Sempijja Jude, Mugumya Arafat, Chicho Peter, Muemba Mustafa, Mubiru Hassan, Nsesazi Isma, n'Ekisembo Godfrey. Abono bokka petulirako amannya naye bangi nnyo abaabuzibwawo betwongera okunoonyerezaako abamu famire zaabwe zijja okuvaayo okuba bazimanyi nti batiisibwatiisibwa bayinza n'okubatuusako obulabe naye tetugenda kubafaabo paka nga tubafunye. Tusabe Katonda babeere nga bakyali balamu naye ne bwe tebakyali balamu babatuwe tubazike mu kitiibwa tumanye ekitwabo mu baabatemola. Naye njagala okujjukiza Museveni n'abo abasajja bakozesa Baddamulira n'abalala nti olunaku lumu mujja kusasulira ebikolobero byemukoze ku bannayuganda. Mwebale nnyo mwebale.
Okay, butereevu omulungi ali ku Sama Uganda press conference bwetyo bwetambudde. Thank you so much mwenna ababaddeko mbebaza okubeerako mu mbeera yonna.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put together a big applause for the president. President Sebo ensonga z'obadde yogerako mu financial year 2023-2024 bayise obuwumbi 38 gye ne balutwala e Rwashamaire tunga mu kusettinga up back. Era gavumenti mu mwaka gwe gumu ne wa contract Vinci Uganda Vinci Coffee Company Limited nga yalina obuvunaanyizibwa bw'okutunda kofi paka mu 2032. Era gavumenti kati yasayinize MOU ne Chinese Communications Construction Company okutundira emmwanyi. Kati lwaki gavumenti erwana okukola ebyo byonna kubanga yakola endagaano emmwanyi yagigabadda. Kati byonna bino it's just following backwards okutuukiriza kiri. Tweyanziza nnyo tweyanzirege olwa mwena ababadde wano era batufune oluyimba olujja wano
Beatrice onoonyeza ki?
People power, then the president will leave. Thank you.
Okay, butereevu. Thank you so much mwena ababadde ku Sama Uganda Media. Ensonga bwe zityo bwe zitambudde olunaku olwaleero president bw'abadde nga ayogerako eri abantu ku nsonga y'emmwanyi. So twebaza bwebaza mwena ababeerako okuba nga tugoberera ensonga zino. Mwebale kubeera ku Sama Uganda. Ngenda baweereza paka kuwulira bubi kuba neewayo baweereza. So mbebaza bwebaza ku nsonga za airport pick up nsaba mu mpage bw'otawagira sama oba ogenda wagira ne mazima ddala bw'ogenda owagira sama ku nsonga za airport pickup. So ensonga bwe zibadde baganda bange abasebo ne bannyabo twetwongera okongratulatinga sister waffe Swabula ow'omukisa atwongera okuyosayosa tukwegayidde Swabula zaala abalongo totuswaza kubanga tukubuuliridde ekimala era nenyongera okubagamba nti omukolo gwange guli mu nteekateeka n'omwagalwa wange Sauda Madada mulabyeko naye adayambadde nga basajja nammwe Sauda tankube nampa omutima guteddemu. So I thank you so much. Mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala mwenna abakyuzinga Sama Uganda kubanga neewaayo okubaweereza mu buli mbeera yonna. G'amazima omukolo guli mu nteekateeka naye mpulira Sauda mmutya wuuno ayambadde nga basajja bebe mbadde simulabye. Sauda asooka ajabuze ku bantu omwagalwa naye namuganya okwambala empale naye yeesiba mu mpale banaye Sauda lwaki tokyosa omukolo genda beerawo gutya nga funa twambala mpale omwagalwa sobuze ku bantu so muleka mu dakiika babuzeeko buze ku bantu bagala nnyo kwekubira ku mukusu gwaffe ogwo ekasimayiro nga kasuse ate manyi wenaba ku mulungi eyo byomwagala ebyo byomwagala ebyo byomwagala bana mwagala ebyonoonese yo. So banaye enteekateeka bwe zibadde abantu b'ekisolo banaye mubeereeyo tusobole okuba ate nga tunoonyeza muganda waffe Tana akaluluso. Enteekateeka bwe zibadde abaganda bange basebo ne bannyabo mwenna ababadde ku mukutu ogwa Sama Uganda kale mugenda kunzikiriza mberekereze countrywide tour egenda kuba eddamu nsinza vaano nga sumidde ku Anko Yisima tomusange nkwagala nnyo nkussamu ekitiibwa so mukkirize mberekereze atakumira mpeera bankumire yenze Sama Uganda Mukama Katonda abanjagalire abampeera omukisa abankuumire mbaagala nnyo sibaagala kitono mbaagala nze amberekereze ku nsonga z'embaga ayagala okusonda ku ssente z'embaga ngenda bagamba essaawa yonna n'omwagalwa Sauda Madada mumulabyeko. So ku airport pickup eri 0704915969 that's my number. Ate enamba endala eri 0762952593 munga kukiriza mbuze ku katongole amumira nsanafu atunnyonnyola Rubaga wagamba kimuganda nga sinajjako
ekisokera ddala Rubaga South tambuza ddala omulimo kama ffe president bwe yatulagira okutambuza enkyukakyuka
olemedde ku nsonga
Sama Uganda kye tulina okukola nga nakyemala Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ne busajja bwe tubujjayo era abantu bonna abava ku kigambo president waffe Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu kyatugambye kyatusizeemu ekyokujjako nakyemalira abo tubakyawe bannayuganda mwenna temuggwaamu maanyi mu kaseera kano we tulaga kwe kulaba nti president waffe Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu atula mu ntebe ey'obukulembeze bw'eggwanga bwenna munnayuganda buvunaanyizibwa bwo okuyimirira ku nsonga zino tulabe ng'eggwanga lyaffe Uganda tulikyusa ate mwebale kubeera ku Sama Uganda.
Kale tweyanza nnyo tweyanzege Honorable Katongole mumera nsanafu Rubaga omusajja wuuyo munagamba ate bannange kiki so mugenda kukkiriza mberekereze atakumira mpeera bankumire mbagala nnyo peace and love for God and my country. Beatrice banayo yagala kumpa ku ssente wafu bonna omannoonyaako kale mberekereza babaye.